Hey Xavier. So today we're going to be learning how to simplify fractions. It's really close to making equivalent fractions, except for making it into more pieces smaller. We're going to be making it into less pieces where each piece is bigger. So we're going to start by looking at this fraction here. It says, what fraction do you see? Well, we can see that there's one, two, three, four parts, and two of them are shaded. So we know that our fraction is 2/4. We can also see another fraction. If you look closely, half of our entire figure is shaded. Here's one column shaded, and the other column is not. One column, two columns, one is shaded, one is not. Half of the entire figure is shaded, so we have one half that we see. 2/4, we know from yesterday, is equivalent to one half. So we already knew that, but what we're going to be using is division to help us figure out how to do it so we don't have to be drawing pictures each time. So we can see what we have to do to get from 2 to get to 1. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. Let's see, we said yesterday we have to multiply by the same number on the top and on the bottom. Same thing goes for division. We should be dividing by the same number on the top and the bottom. So let's do 4 divided by 2, and that does in fact get us 2. So 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2 because we divide both the top and the bottom by 2. Let's try the next one. We see two fractions here. We can see that there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, and two of them are shaded. Well, we can also see 1/3 of the entire bar is shaded. So that's the other fraction. 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. Well, let's see. We said that we need to be dividing by the same number on the top and on the bottom. So to get from 2 to 1, we again divide by 2. Let's see if we divide by 2 on the bottom if we get the same answer. 6 divided by 2 equals 3. That makes sense. 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. We divided both the numerator and the denominator by 2. Next one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces. And we can see out of those 12 pieces, 3 of them are shaded. And let's see, we can see each of these big columns here are shaded in here, and that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So out of the 4 columns that we have, one of them is shaded. So we should say that 3/12, or it should be that 3/12 is equivalent to 1/4. Let's see. We said we have to divide by the same on the numerator and the denominator. So to get from 3 to 1, we have to divide by 3. We divide by 3 on the bottom. Let's see if our answer makes sense. 12 divided by 3 does equal 4. So 3/12 is equal to 1/4. Last one using pictures. What two fractions do we see? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total pieces, and 8 of them are shaded. Well, let's see, we also have rows here. There's 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows. And out of those 3 rows, 2 of them are shaded. So 8/12 should be equivalent to 2/3. Let's see. To get from 8 to 2, we have to divide by 4. To get from 12 to 3, if we divide by 4, let's see if that makes sense. 12 divided by 4 does equal 3. So 8/12 is equivalent to 2/3. Now we're going to try without using visuals. So we have 5 and 15. We need to divide by the same number on the top and on the bottom to create a simplified fraction. What we're going to do is we're going to list our factors of each number. Factors are the number that you multiply together to get your starting number. So we have 5. We want to list all of our factors of 5. These are the numbers we multiply together to get 5. I know that 1 times 5 equals 5. So I think those are the only two numbers we can multiply together to get 5. So these are our only two factors. Let's do the same for 15. We know 1 times 15 equals 15, and 3 times 5 equals 15. See, I'm going to use a different color. So, oops. So we have 1, 3, 5, and 15. Now remember, we're looking to divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. So we'll see which two numbers are in both lists. 1 is in both lists, and 5 is in both lists. Well, if we divided 5 divided by 1, we would just get 5 again, and we just have the exact same fraction. So we actually want to divide by the biggest number in both lists, which is 5. So let's divide our numerator by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Let's divide our denominator by 5. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So 5/15 is the same as 1/3. Let's do the same thing here for the factors of 6 and 18. Starting with 6, we know that 1 times 6 equals 6, and 2 times 3 equals 6. Let's do the same for 18. 1 times 18 equals 18. 2 times 9 equals 18. And 3 times 6 equals 18. So that's why it's important to know our multiplication. Let's see, do blue. All right, now let's see what numbers are in both lists. 1 is in both lists. 2 is in both lists. 3. Oh, wow, and 6. Doesn't always work out that way. So let's see, we want to divide to get in the simplest form. We want to divide by the biggest number in both lists. I can see that 6 is the biggest number that's in both lists. So let's divide by 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. And 18 divided by 6 is 3. Oh, wow, so we got 1/3 again. 6/18 is equivalent to 1/3. We're going to do two more problems. Same thing, 12/40. We're going to first write the factors of each number. So let's start with our factors of 12. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. And 3 times 4 is 12. Let's do the same for 40. 1 times 40 is 40. 2 times 20 is 40. 5. Ooh, you know what? I should do one before 5. It doesn't have to be in numerical order. There we go. So 4 times 10 is 40. And 5 times 8 is 40. So let's see which numbers are in both lists. Let's see, we'll do orange. Let's see, 1 is in both lists, 2 is in both lists, 3 is not in both lists, but 4 is in both lists. Now 6 isn't, 12 isn't. So we're looking for the number that's the biggest in both lists. That looks like it's going to be 4. So we're going to divide the numerator and denominator by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 40 divided by 4 is 10. So 12/40 is equal to 3/10. Last one. I'm going to list the multiples of 18, which we've done before, and multiples of 45. 1 times 18 is 18. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 6 is 18. And that's it. Multiples of 45. 1 times 45 is 45. 3 times 15 is 45. 5 times 9 is 45. I think that's it. All right, so let's see which numbers are in both lists. Let's see, I like that blue. All right, 1 is in both lists. See, 2 is not in both lists, but 3 is in both lists. 6 isn't, but 9 is in both lists, and 18 is not. So let's see which number is the biggest in both lists. 9 is the biggest number that's found in both lists. So we're going to divide by 9. 18 divided by 9 is 2. Divide by 9 again. 45 divided by 9 is 5. So 18/45 is equivalent to 2/5.